Hello everyone, Achino here. So now we are going to talk about the single target builds that use Rotten and Shadow Dust. There are two of them. I have them in my Excel. Right now there are two because I'm using Subterfuge. I will show. This would be a dungeon one, but the one that we would use for single target, it's a little bit different. This is the one that I have in my Excel sheet for me. And then the other one, it's this one. So people are have been using this one and the other one also, and now I will explain the good things and the bad things and the opener and everything about both of them. One thing to keep in mind, there could be changes to both builds, and if you want to be informed of this, the best thing to check out is the Rogue Discord. I will leave it also in the description, and you can just go in there and ask away. I'm usually there in the sub channel and also in the TC research channel, where we are kind of cooking this build. So first I will explain the easier one and the one that people are trying to get more wins out of, and it's this one. I have a clip from Steely, sub rogue that is really good, and he has done the opener for this, and I will explain more or less how it works. It works almost the same as mine, but the difference is you don't play with the first dance, so you don't get free combo points when you enter dance, and you also play with lingering shadows. It makes your backstabs stronger, and then it goes fading away every time a second goes through. It begins at 50% and then 2.8 every second fades away after dance. And then we will have also perforated veins stacks to go into those lingering shadows because we are using shadow strikes inside dance and also a banish shadow strike. This build also doesn't use subterfuge, so it gets less perforated veins stacks, but still does enough damage for sims to show that it's better than the normal build that people are playing that uses deeper daggers, first dance, and nothing of this. These three times are not played or sepsis, but you play with Lingering Shadows and Dance Macabre. So now we will go into that first opener. His details streamer mode is really small, so I will be pausing and explaining everything. But you can also check the sheet. It's one I made. I will post on the description. You can follow it. I will try to transcribe it. It's not there right now, but I will try to work it. And then now let's go and check this. So this is mine, and then this is the sepsis opener. So I will go full screen so it's easier to see. And then here it's kind of bad. Go max quality. And then here, the first thing you will see is using symbols of death. Pre-pull, what does this mean? This means that we are using symbols of death. It has a 25-second cooldown on this build because we are using swift death. And then it will go off cooldown while we are doing our first dance. Then we will use it to make an empowered stab after the dance. But right now it's good because you use that symbols of death on pool. 15 seconds pool, if your raid leader is doing it for mages, it also works for you. And then he's going to open and I still have the rotten buff. He has an aura here also to see it. It's really well done. And then we will just wait until he opens. And you can see that the buff itself ticks out, but we still have this 20 seconds. And then he opens when it's 10. A little bit later, it doesn't matter. Then now here this is what he does. He has a macro with Shadow Strike and the Dragonfire Bomb Dispenser. That is fine. It makes other trinkets have a 10-second cooldown. You have Beacon to the Beyond. You would use it later. So after that Shadow Strike, he uses Sepsis and Flagellation. This Sepsis also gets paired with Shadow Blades, but maybe he uses it a little bit later. But usually you pair those two to get all the sepsis dot value, because every time sepsis ticks with Shadow Blades active, you get 50% extra damage on that tick. If it's a crit, it also crits the tick. Shadow Blades itself does not crit, but get the 50% from that. He also gets 1 stack of perforated veins, and then after this flagellation, you'll use rupture. That rupture makes it so you get more flagellation stacks. You see he has 8 now. And then Shadow Blades, he could have used it with a macro with sepsis or used a bit before, a bit later. It doesn't matter too much. He also gets an Entropic Embrace proc, but that doesn't matter too much either. And then now after that rupture, you get the free strikes from sepsis that he's going to use. We still don't know if this is the best thing to do, but right now it does enough. You see here he got a buff from the sepsis strike, and then he used it, and he got combo points to enter dance, and then use secret technique. And Thistlety in this case increases our mastery by 20%, and we are using this charge just so it begins the cooldown itself. You also can see that his Symbols of Death are coming off cooldown soon. Of course, after using secret technique, we are at 0 combo points, so we use Gloomblade. This Gloomblade uses the free Rotten proc that we get from the tier set, and also enables a full combo point finisher. You can see here, he uses now Eviscerate, and then now he has time to use Shadow Strike to also get full combo points, consuming Premeditation that we got when we enter dance, and of course an Eviscerate to use those combo points. Then he uses another Shadow Strike to end this 6-second dance, and an Eviscerate. In that case now he gets another free sepsis strike, but uses 1 Gloomblade with the Symbols of Death that he used just, and is using the Lingering Shadows stack that we talked before, 50% increased damage, and it also gets the 50% increased damage from Rotten, and it's 100% critical strike damage. If he also had the old tier set, he's using the 4-piece from the new set, but the old tier set will also give 14% crit damage to that stab. Of course, after we used that Rotten Gloomblade, we got full combo points, and we use Eviscerate again. Now he gets the free strike from Sepsis and an Eviscerate. Now he uses Banish and Shadow Strike. When we use Banish, using Shadow Dust, we get 30%, 30 seconds, sorry, off on all our cooldowns. That makes it that we have Symbols of Death again and Dance again. We still have Flagellation rolling, so now he's going to do another thing. But of course, when we use this Shadow Strike with Premeditation, we also get full combo points, apart from another Perforated Veins stack. And now here he enters dance and does an eviscerate because he had full combo points from that Shadow Strike that he used Banish with, and then a Gloomblade that will consume the Rotten debuff that we get for free when we enter dance. That Gloomblade also gets empowered by Shadow Blades and by lingering shadows stacks that we got from the last dance. Now, he uses Secret Technique with Cold Blood again, because he let the time pass and then Cold Blood is available again. So now, after that Secret Technique, he uses Shadow Strike again to get full combo points from Premeditation, and it's the same thing. Eviscerate, Shadow Strike, Symbols of Death, Eviscerate, Gloomblade, Outside Dance, then Eviscerate and Gloomblades, and then it will be the normal rotation. The last part was a bit fast, but it's exactly the same as you would do in the last dance. So now that's the Root and Sepsis opener with the Swift Death one. In that case, that would be the Root and Sepsis one with the Stealthy and the Swift Death one. Then I will explain my part, and it's this one. I will do the same, I will pause and I will explain. I also have the full transcription in my sheet that you can check. I will leave it on the description. So now let's begin. As you can see, I do exactly the same. We use Symbols of Death, so we get the Rotten debuff, and we just wait. I'm going to open after 15 seconds. And here is 15 with Shadow Strike. And then in this case, I do it a bit different because I have Subterfuge. That gives me 3 seconds of pseudo stealth. I will use Slice and Dice, and then another strike, and then use my trinkets. In that case, the best play actually is to use the Anvil on the first Shadow Strike, and then use the Beacon to the Beyond just after the third strike. This is like a minor misplay, and I'm going to lose one global, more or less, but it doesn't matter because we have not used anything. We have not used our pot. We have not used anything. Of course, I'm not going to use a pot here because this is a dummy test, but you take the problem. And then with our beacon, we do a big crit, and the same thing that Stealthy did, or should have done in this case, is use Blades and Sepsis. This means that every tick of Sepsis is going to have 50% more damage. Of course, we are full on combo points, so we use Flagellation, and it's the same. Rupture. A full combo point Rupture, that also gives us 7 stacks of Flagellation, so we get more mastery. Then the different thing is that I want to enter dance with Find Weakness. And how do we do that? With 100% certainty. We use Shuriken Storm. With Silent Storm and Improved Shuriken Storm, we have 100% to get Find Weakness. And then also, as you can see here, we have 4 combo points because Shuriken Storm itself is 2, 1 baseline, 1 from Shadow Blades, and then 1 from critting from Seal Fate. Of course, we enter dance. With the first dance, we get 4 combo points, so we also always fill our combo points and use an Eviscerate. This Eviscerate is good in my case because I also have plenty of time to get the Strict Technique with Cold Blood, and also I get, because I'm still using the old 2-piece from the first season, in this case 14% critical damage on this stab gloom blade that I'm going to do after this eviscerate. And then as you can see here, we get gloom blade, and then you can see here the shadow blade damage. It's a 60k and then 30k. And after this gloom blade, we also get full combo points. From here you can see 7 combo points, and we use Cold Blood secret technique that makes it so our 3 hits always crit. You can see it there. And then we use, same as Stealthy, a Shadow Strike that makes it so our combo points are full again. After the Shadow Strike, of course, we will use Eviscerate. In that case, here we could use our Symbols of Death again, because we are going to stab anyway after. Here, you can see that I use it a little bit late, but with the... in that case, with the Eviscerate, we also got good power here. Also, another good thing about why I use that build is we get the sepsis pop inside dance. That means it does 30% plus 8% with Night Stalker extra damage. You can see here it's a 60k crit. We use the long dance, that's why it pops there. And then afterwards, the Symbols of Death we have used a stab, and then we have one last second to use an eviscerate inside that dance. Then our dance ends, and we have the sepsis shadow strike to also use. We use that sepsis shadow strike. It will always be at least 3 combo points. If it crits, it will be 4, and then shadow blades give us the last combo point for a 5 combo points shadow strike. And then our flagellation buff ends. You can see here we are on 30 stacks. We have completely filled it, and then we'll banish shadow strike. This gives us another fill on our combo points. So now we will use eviscerate and then another strike. You can see here on this strike we got 6 combo points because we got 5 from everything that we did, and then 1 extra combo point from shadow techniques. Of course, after we end everything here, we'll do another eviscerate. And then this is one thing that I actually did a lottery with. I used a gloom blade. This should be a storm, because if we don't get find weakness here, now when we enter dance, this eviscerate will not get shadowed finisher's value. So here I strongly recommend you use storm. I tried to RNG my way. I had a lot of critical distractions, but it still could have failed, and we would lost a lot of DPS. So after that eviscerate, of course, we'll use the rotten buff we have, and as you can see, we have almost secret technique and cold blood ready for action. Do a 61k crit, and then the cold blood sectech second one in flagellation with 2.4 seconds, plenty of time. You'll need 1.3 for the 3 copies to hit. Then of course we use our premeditation to fill our combo points, then another eviscerate, then it's the same thing. This time I think I actually did it right. Let me check 1 second. Yes, I used Symbols of Death with eviscerate to clip it, kind of, but we get all the full pandemic from here. You can see it's 12 seconds. So we get the extra damage here, and then the stab, and that will be it. Thank you all if you watched the full video. If you didn't, I don't mind, but we'll see us in the next one.